Hello, my name is Abby and I am from Saved by Grace. I'll be talking about the prophecy of Daniel 7 and 2. So what does the sea represent? Daniel said, "In my vision at night I looked, and there before me were the four winds of heaven, churning up the great sea. Four great beasts, each different from the other, came up out of the sea." Daniel 7:2. Then the angel said to me, "The waters you saw where the prostitute sits are the people, multitudes, nations, and languages." That is from Revelation 17:15. So the sea is basically explained in Revelation 17:15 and is people, multitudes, nation, and languages, as you can see the picture right there. So what does the beast represent? So the beast is representing kingdoms. Okay, so when it's talking about the four beasts, right now we are talking about kingdoms. We are talking about political powers. So as you can see here, the first beast is represented by Babylon, the second beast is represented by Medo-Persia, and the third beast is represented by Greece, and the fourth one is Rome. The first beast. Daniel 7:4. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were torn off, and it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on 2 feet, like a human being, and the mind of a human was given to it. This first beast represents Babylon, just like the golden head of Daniel 2. The Babylonian kingdom was in power from 605 to 539 BC, and then destroyed in the reign of Belshazzar, who was slain during the night of his drunken feast. The lion with eagle's wings was a significant symbol on the coins and the walls of the Babylonian kingdom. So as it's explained, the Babylonian kingdom, the lion with the eagle's wing was very symbolic to them, because this was something that they had on their coins, they had in their walls, and it was just something that they somehow looked to. I don't know. The second beast, Daniel 7:5. And there before me was a second beast, which looked like a bear. It was raised up on one of its sides, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. It was told, "Get up and eat your fill of flesh." Now you see another kingdom coming in power after the fall of the Babylonian kingdom. We are told that, and Darius the Mede took over the kingdom at the age of 62. Now, as you can go back and read in Daniel 5, it also talks about, the prophecy where Belshazzar, where God wrote, with his finger on the wall. So that prophecy in there, God told him that his kingdom was gonna be destroyed, and then, of course, as we see Darius over here, he's the one who took over the Babylonian kingdom. So this is a very good description of the Medo-Persian Empire, also known as kingdom, because a bear is very ferocious. This kingdom was cruel and virtuous. As you can see in Isaiah 13:15 through 19, it's also described there. The Medo-Persian kingdom is described in there. Also, it was partially strong and partially weak. So these are the characteristics given. This kingdom, the Medo-Persian kingdom, was partially strong, partially weak, meaning that either the Medes or the Persians were either strong, one of those two was strong. So Darius the Mede and Cyrus, his nephew, came together as to go up against Babylon. The Persians were much stronger than the Medes. So there it is. So which side is partially strong? Well, the Persians are strong. The Medes were not stronger than the Persians. Hence, the bear raised up on one side. So there, when we see that in Daniel 7:5, when it talks about the bear being on one of its side, is because here we are told that the Persians were more stronger. So that means the bear raising on its side, meaning the Persians were stronger, so the Medes were weaker. Also, with the Persians ruling the kingdom for the majority of the time, they were in power from 539 to 331 BC. So this is a website that you can go to, and I really found the information in there very useful and very important. And if you are very much interested to learn more about this topic, you can go in there and you can be able to learn about that topic. The three ribs in its mouth between its teeth represent the three kingdoms that the Medes and the Persians defeated as they came in power. Now, as we see over there, it says that there were three ribs in the mouth of the bear. So, what are those three ribs representing? They are representing Lydia, they are representing Babylon, and they are representing Egypt, because these were the kingdom that the Persians and the Medes were able to actually defeat before they came into into power. We also noticed something important taught about the Medo-Persian kingdom. So this was what was taught. It says, "Get up and eat your fill of flesh." The Medo-Persian kingdom was larger than the Babylonian kingdom because it ruled over 127 provinces from India to Kush, also known as Ethiopia, and that is from Esther 1:1. So this kingdom was very big. Apparently, you can see the Babylonian kingdom, which was a golden kingdom. This kingdom that destroyed them is even bigger, is way bigger than them. So there was no way that they were gonna be able to, the Babylonians, to defeat the Medo-Persians, because they were they were more big and more. Okay, so the third beast, Daniel 7:6. After that I looked, and there before me was another beast, one that looks like a leopard. And on its back it had four wings like those of a bird. This beast had four heads, and it was given authority to rule. So this is the Grecian kingdom, which was ruled by Alexander the Great. Now, there's history about Alexander the Great, and if you're interested about learning about his history, and everything, you can I think you can be able to actually go to Google and learn about him. So Medo-Persia was defeated by the Macedonian Greece. So Greece, which is now Macedonian, represented as a leopard with four heads and four wings. The four wings represent precedent shiftness, and you can go to Habakkuk to see that. The conquest of Macedonia, Greece, under Alexander the Great were more rapid than even those of Babylonia. In just 3 short years, from 334 to 331 BC, he conquered the entire Persian Empire. The leopard is more agile and swift than a lion or a bear, yet more firm. Alexander died in 323 BC at the age of 32, and then his four strongest generals, Cassandra, Simcas, Ptolemy, Sarkas, I don't know how to say the names very well, so they divided the kingdom amongst themselves. So now, the reason these generals dividing the kingdom among themselves after the death of Alexander, that's where we see the four heads and the four wings. Because now there's a division going on. There's a division going on between the heads, or between the kingdom now. Which is symbolized by the leopard's forehead. So you can go ahead and read more about that. And this kingdom actually ruled from 331 BC to 146 BC. The fourth beast. Alright. So the fourth beast, Daniel 7:7, which ruled from 146 BC to 1453 AD. After that, in my vision at night, I looked, and there before me was a fourth beast, terrifying and frightening and very powerful. It had large iron teeth. It crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever was there. It was different from all the former beasts, and it had 10 horns. Alright, so the previous empires were represented by some of the most ferocious animals of the prey, but this beast is represented by a frightful monster. This is a fitting figure of the Roman Empire, which dominated the world with its iron legions. The iron teeth of this monster give it a direct parallel to the iron in the image in Daniel 2:40. It was Rome that ruled the Mediterranean world when Jesus lived on earth, and it was Rome, the Roman governor Pilate, who sent Jesus to the cross where he died for the sins of all mankind. The 10 horns, like the leopard's foreheads, show a splitting of the kingdom into multiple parts, and you can see more on this website. So the fourth beast, which is the most terrifying, and I am going back and forth with Daniel's 2, which is the iron. In Daniel's 2, we see here a statue, and then we see iron. The legs of iron. And this is the Roman Empire, Roman Kingdom, which was more terrifying. And the next slide is going to explain a little bit more about that. The little horn. Daniel 7:8. While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little horn, which came up among them. And 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn had eyes of a man and a mouth that spoke boastfully. Now, as we saw in the previous slide, that the Roman Empire was the fourth beast. Now, in there we also saw that that fourth beast had 10 horns. Okay, so in this verse, we are seeing that there comes, between those 10 horns, there comes a little horn. Okay, and that little horn, okay, comes and uproots out the other three of the first horns, which, so by that little horn coming, it uproots out 3 of those, horns which were there. So that means this horn, for some reason, this horn has a power that is very prideful, a power that I guess sits itself in the place of God. There's something just not right about this little horn, this power. So let's find out. Prophecy shows that the little horn was to rise out of the Roman Empire between AD 351 and 471. Barbarian invasion broke the Roman Empire into 10 kingdoms. He would speak against the Most High and oppress his sin and try to change the set times and laws. The saints would be handed over to him for a time, times, and half a time. This little horn power is the papacy power, which is controlled by the Bishop of Rome, also known as the Pope. And this is the power responsible for the change of the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. So this power is not only just putting itself in a position where it's saying, okay, we have dominion, we have this power, and this power, for some reason, it's also really controlling people. It's very deceitful, it's very boastful, it's very prideful. I don't know, there's something just not right about this power, and that's the papacy, the Roman Catholic. So summary. As I'm ending up my slide, I wanted to summarize for you. So I was comparing in this video Daniel's 2, which is the golden statue right there, and also Daniel 7, which we are seeing the beast over there. So Babylonian kingdom, represented also as the head of gold, who was ruling that kingdom, Nebuchadnezzar. From what time? From 605 to 531 BC, that is before Christ. and the Babylonian kingdom is also represented as the first beast, which is the lion with eagle's wings. So the second one is Medo-Persian. As you can see, is the burst of silver. Okay, so who ruled this kingdom after Babylon? This kingdom took over, and it was ruled by King Darius, which lasted from 539 to 331 BC, and it's represented as the bear. And then we go down here and we have the Grecian kingdom, which is Greece, represented by the thoroughbreds. So was ruled by Alexander the Great from 331 to 146 BC, represented as a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads. And then we also come down to the leg of iron in this picture right here on the left, which is represented by the Roman Empire. And here we have the Emperor Nero, which took place and took over from 146 BC to 1453 AD. Now we have a division of the kingdom taking place with the Catholicism and Protestantism, which is the papal power or papal Rome, which is taking from 1453 until now. So right now we're living in the end time, and this power is gonna do a lot more, than what is. So we're living under the divisions right now. All right. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you can subscribe. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. All right.